My sound is working, but where are you? This is so weird. I have no idea.
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Oh,
yeah.
So what in the world happened?
I think maybe you have a short.
Yeah, I am short.
You might have a short in your microphone. That's all I can figure.
Wow, I'm not going to touch anything on the screen until we finish this. And I'm hoping, I mean, can I edit this can I edit this in Google? Yeah, you mean YouTube? Do you think?
Yeah.
I could probably cut out the beginning, right?
Right. And we could just start where we were and you can edit that. Can't you? Can't you put them together?
Probably, but I would need somebody to show me how to do that one. That would definitely
won't be me.
Well, actually, I could probably do it on Fiverr, but it would take too long. I really wanted to do a blog post on this tonight. Oh my goodness gracious! I can't believe.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Just don't move that microphone around.
I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, and I'm not going to touch anything. Okay, so we are going to start over again. Okay, here we go. Hi, Ellen.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Interview with a Baby Boomer, everybody. I have a young lady. Her name is Ellen, and she's from Illinois. And weekly, I do these interviews, and I kind of pick and choose certain baby boomers, people anywhere from 50 on up. And I want to get their perspective on what they feel about retirement, where they are, where do they plan on going, and hopefully, well into their 80s and 90s, how they expect to live and to retire. So anyway, so like I said, this is Ellen, and she's like 59 years old, and she has 4 grown children. And the last one just graduated from college. And like I said, you need to be congratulated on that, because that's a wonderful thing. I want to thank you and your family. But I also know that you lost your husband not too long ago, back in 2009, very suddenly,
Yes.
So without going into too much detail, Ellen, can you explain to us how you felt and how this impacted your whole family moving forward?
Well, it was a very difficult thing for all of us, but especially for my 2 youngest girls who were still living at home. My middle daughter was just starting her college experience in Dayton, Ohio, and he died about 10 days before she had to go away to school. And initially that was really difficult, but it turned out to be really great for her because she was able to get away from here and not have the memories right in her face all the time. And it gave her a chance to step away. My youngest daughter, she was in high school. She and I struggled through a lot of things together by ourselves. And she had a very, very difficult time also being a high schooler, which is not easy on anybody. So she decided she wanted to go away to school, to high school. And so we talked about it. I wasn't keen on it, but she convinced me that it was the best thing for her to get away, to get out of here and be able to heal and see things differently. So I went along with it, and it was a blessing for her because she started college right away, didn't have any adjustment problems to being away from home, didn't have any of the acting out things that usually go along with a freshman in college. She was very goal oriented from her the way that they had trained her at boarding school. She also had only 3 years to go through as an undergraduate versus 4 or 5. So it worked out all the way around really well. And she's going to do her master's next year. But the most difficult thing was for me to be financially okay, because what we received from his life insurance was only enough for my girls to go to school. So I gave it to them, and they used it to get through college. And they also have enough to get themselves started living wherever they choose to live. And I was teaching, and although it was a private school and I didn't make very much, I managed to do okay. I did have to sell the house that I designed that we had built on 5 acres. I couldn't pay the note anymore, and I couldn't keep it up by myself. So I did have to give that up.
Well, that's
But
sad. That's really sad. I can relate to that. We had to claim bankruptcy ourselves, so we lost about 10 years ago. We lost our home also. But you know, life, you pick yourself up and you move forward, and you go on. And you're
mhm,
a strong woman, and I know you're going to do very well. So now I also know that you were a teacher for like over 30 years.
yes,
So
first grade.
wow. So now that's tough.
Well, I taught kindergarten through 3rd, but my favorite was first grade, and I did most of my teaching in first grade.
Well, that's great. But will this help you? I mean, being a teacher, if you had any kind of a pension, will this help you into your retirement? If you got a pension from your school years?
Well, from teaching at a private school, I only had what I put in. So there was no matching. There was no money that was just given to us towards our retirement. We had to put it in. And my husband's death was such a surprise, and he had always been so healthy that we really didn't concentrate on mine. We concentrated on his. So I did have a little bit, and I still have a little bit, but most of it I've been living on since August when I got fired from my job. So, in August, I was a very highly respected teacher. Parents would ask for the kids to be in my class. I loved what I did. Teaching, I'd known I was going to be a teacher since I was 5 years old. So I was on that track made by me that I wanted to do since I was a little kid. And I never expected it to happen. The administration changed 2 years ago, and she and I had very different opinions and philosophies and visions for what should be done with little kids. And I guess she didn't like my vision very much, because a week into the new school year, after the room was all set up and the kids were already coming to school, she called me in the office at 9:15 and let me go. So
Wow, that's amazing. I can relate to that. Like I said, my husband, he worked for a company for 30 years, and they folded. and he lost most of his pension. The government came in once a company claims bankruptcy, the government steps in, and what they do is they decide what they want to give you. And so what they decided to do was to give him only 39% of his original pension, which is nothing. It's next to nothing.
Right.
Excuse me. So I can relate to that. And you know what? This is happening across the board to so many boomers. It really is. I mean, because my husband was 51 at the time when that happened to him. And every time he tried to get a job, he was overqualified. What does that mean?
Yes.
You're too old. That's what
Well,
they
that's
mean.
the reason. That's the reason that all my applications at schools have been not taken seriously, because two things: they don't want to pay me what they would have to pay me, and the second thing is that for the year, most of the teaching jobs were already filled, and they'd already set themselves up for the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
know. Well, you're to be congratulated for picking yourself up and moving forward, because it's not easy, especially for a single woman, a woman on her own. It's not easy, but you're to be congratulated because you're doing a great job. Now, but moving forward, what are you doing now to help supplement your retirement for the future income? So that you'll be able to retire, completely retire, and be comfortable, and not stressful.
right. Well, my plan is to have residual income from the company I am now with online. And I have a blog, and I love to write. I've published 2 children's books, and my poetry has been published in anthologies. And I'm not done writing books, but publishing books is kind of like finding a teacher job. It's kind of hard to do, but they've been wonderful. It's been a wonderful experience. And blogging is writing. Some people do the video blogs, and I do some video blogs. It's because that's what people want to see nowadays. But I really enjoy the writing process. So that, and the personal development that my company also carries, is exactly a fit for me. So my goal is to have residual income and to be able to write more books, so that I will not be worrying about financial issues.
Yes, and I can understand that, and that's what a lot of us baby boomers are facing. But there you have it, and that's another perspective on what retirees are facing today. So, if you want to know how you can add to your retirement fund, just click the link below and see how our community of entrepreneurs are helping everyday people to create a successful retirement with less stress and more fun. So with that, I will see you on the next interview. And thank you, Ellen, so much. You were just fabulous, really great. I enjoyed listening to your story, and I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.